So let's go again. Here we go. Now I start the recording. So case 2. Mazut is BC resident who has been involved with the part-time entrepreneurship for the past 2 years. He maintains good relationship with certain local restaurant and his customer to sustain a business involving picking up meals and delivering them to the people. He's also involved in being involved as a software engineer, employed as a software engineer. He works from home with the flexible employment hours which permit him to sustain a side business. However, he is now finding a more difficult to sustain the side business. However, he's not more difficult to adequate leisure and rest time. Oh, so that's background information. The only thing that you have to take from here, he's employed, software engineer, and he has a side business. It all started with his cousin, restaurant. As Mazut was helping the restaurant, he realized a lot of customers were asking about the food delivery. Since the restaurant was hesitant to register with the DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Skip the Dishes, prior to getting the business room, Mazut asked the owner if he is okay with delivering meals for small fees. Most of the interested customers were within 5-kilometer radius, so $2 to $3 fee was sufficient. Farnuk agreed that this was a great way to boost the sales, and he trusted Mazut, so they went ahead with the idea. Mazut would pay for the order. So this is the tricky part. He pays for the order when he pick up and keep the money the customer give him for the order, delivery fee, and the potential trip. Do you understand this idea? Group 2.
Yes.
The case 2. Groups for the case 2. Do you understand what he's doing?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, he's paying after the customer pays him.
No.
Yes, he's making $2 to $3
So $2 to $3 for the making those for delivery. That's the idea.
Yes.
Now
yes,
watch this. Mazut would pay for the order when he pick it up. So
okay, before, yes.
Before, okay. Right? So is the restaurant get the money from Mazut?
Yes.
Yes.
They get money from Mazut.
Directly, right?
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
So if I'm the restaurant owner, that's perfect for me, correct?
Yeah.
So then, and keep the money from the customer give him. So when he goes to the customer, he's saying, hey, your order is, you have to pay me now for the order, plus the delivery, plus the tip. So there's no risk for the restaurant. All the risk is buried by Mazut, correct?
Yes.
So many of Mazut customers are older. So we understand the business model. Let's see what is the business older, and that appreciate his attention to detail with their orders and his friendliness. He give them a fillable weekly paper schedule with a lot of, which is a lot of easier than having a call the store and place the order each time. Plus, Mazut was always available on the phone and willing to pick up what they wanted. Mazut found that some of the customers appreciate him so much that their tips regularly exceeded his delivering fee. So he's getting more than $3 as a tip. By printing newsletter and putting them in a local mailbox, which cost him monthly cost is $50, Mazut has been able to steadily grow his customer base. He's wondering if the other forms of advertising would help. That's where you're coming here. Number 1, What's the number one that he's asking?
The pros and cons.
Wondering other form of advertising.
Okay.
This is the what he's wondering. Other forms of advertising. So check and recommend forms of advertising. Other, let's go, other forms of advertising. What he's doing so far. Only printing these newsletters, monthly newsletter. That's the only thing that he's doing. So you have to advise him. Advice on other forms of advertising the business. Over time, that's what we can get, nothing else here. Over time, Mazout was able to convince other small restaurants in the area to use his services. With more cuisine options, several of Mazout's customers decided to get all or almost all of their meals delivered by him. However, that means multiple hours being spent in the morning, multi-day, and the evening commuting between the various restaurants and customers. Being so busy with his side job has resulted Mazout regularly falling behind his full-time job. So now we have a problem. We have decision to make, right? Should I keep the full-time job or to go on the part-time job? Let's see what's happening now. Now coming the numbers. Up to this point, there's no numbers. Up to this point is just basic information, background information. The only thing that you have to do here is to advise on the other forms of advertising his business. That's it. So what's the other form of the business? You have to come up with something. You're a new generation. You have a lot of opportunities here. Now, Mazout is looking at a couple options going forward. Now we're going with a couple options. Let's separate them now. Simplest solution will be to request his current employer to cut his working hours in half, which will result in salary 30,000 annually instead of the current 60. So how much he making currently? 60. So that will be the first calculation for you. What's the current? 60,000, 5 years. What's the second option? Option two is cut to 30 and see what's Mazout considering this option because he believes his employer will accept the deal. Also, Mazout hasn't gotten a salary increase for the 3 years and isn't expecting any significant raises in the near term. So here we have the second one comes here, is the current situation. With fixed salary. Correct?
Yes.
Do you have the numbers?
Yes.
Yes,
You have
Professor.
it. So now that's current
Sorry,
situation.
Professor. Sorry,
Yes.
Professor. You said we are calculating it for the next 5 years.
Yes.
Okay.
5
So
years.
these 3 years backwards is not relevant to us, right?
Which one?
He said Mazout hasn't gotten a salary increase in 3 years and isn't expecting any significant raise in the near term. So the 3 years backwards.
Backwards.
It's
That's
not
irrelevant. Irrelevant. No,
Yes.
we're looking forward.
Okay, Professor.
What's happened? We don't care. We're looking forward. In management accounting, we're looking forward. Another option for Mazout is to hire his friend Sarima. She worked as a DoorDash driver, so training would be minimum. Additionally, she decides her own work hours. So serving Mazout customer well with the prices timing wouldn't be an issue. Since Mazout engineering work is slow, in the morning and evening. He would continue to take care of the breakfast and the dinner, while Samira will handle the lunch. So now we know what Samira is going to do, right?
Yes, Professor. To handle the lunch time.
Lunchtime only. He's dealing with the breakfast and dinners. To keep
Yes.
the thing simple and fair, Masood is considering letting Samira keep all the revenue for her deliveries. However, historically, lunchtime has 40% of Masood's total revenue. So do we
Okay.
know how much he's sacrificing? 40%, right?
Yes,
We
Professor.
still don't know anything about his business
Of
though,
his business, yes. Professor.
right? At this point, we don't know anything. So let's go for me to copy the rest of the case and see what else we can get. We have to get some numbers at some point, right? So if he hires Samira, Masood is planning to continue making all the deliveries on weekends, but wants to take 2 full weeks off for vacation since he hasn't traveled in the past 2 years. He would coordinate time of his business with his employment vacation. Masood wants the detailed pros and cons analysis on these 2 options as well as other possible solutions. Okay, so now we know what he wants, correct?
Yes, Professor. He wants to go on a vacation.
So what he wants 3. He wants detailed 3. That would be 3 pros and 3 cons, right? 3 pros and 3 cons analysis. Again, with the other group, if you have the cons, I want mitigation for the cons. For option 1, what's the option 1? Option 1 will be to work part-time and to do the business. Option 2, again, detail pros and cons. For option 2, which is the option 2 will be Samira.
Okay.
Option 2 with, let's go with Samira. Option 1 is part-time plus business. We have the 2 options, part-time business or option 2, business with Samira. Again, it will be part-time with business with Samira, but he's losing 40%. Now, and as well as any other possible solutions. And also, now he wants only detailed analysis, nothing more. Not a recommendation yet. In his first year of business, now let's see the numbers. Delivered an average. Now we have numbers. Can you see it?
Yes.
In his first business, deliver average 12.5 meals per day, with average delivery fee $2.33 and tip $1.20. Masood owned the older car at the time, so expenses amounted about 30% of revenue. Masood estimated he spends around 1.5 daily to deliver in the first year. Second year, he expects the daily average to double What means double? From 12.5 meals per day is going to be double. With the average delivery cost, now delivery cost goes a little bit up and tip goes down. With a new vehicle, he will be able to reduce the expenses to 25% of the revenue. Expected to be sustainable for the 5 more years. So once we get the new vehicle, he's going to reduce increase the revenue, and he's going to keep the vehicle for 5 years. Mazut estimate he worked on average 3 hours a day in the past year. Right? So what we have here, in the first year of business, in the second year of business. Let's keep going. What else we can find? As things go busier, Mazut slightly increased his delivery rates. Since he's projecting the average delivery fee of $275 in upcoming year and tip of $125, he's also expecting the number of orders to increase to 30 on average. If he did all delivery by himself, it will be amount of the 4 hours of work per day for the following 5 years. Mazut expects the daily order volume to grow to a rate of 10% per year with no changes on the average delivery fee and tips. Do you understand this? So now how we should look at this information? That's interesting information because basically this is the first year of business, which is the old information. Are you following me here?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, Professor.
Second, on the second year of business, that's where he doubled it. Now, going forward, this is what's going to happen. Since we're going forward, we're making our projections in the future, this is the thing that we should consider. Now, from where we can use this yellow part, the yellow part, we can use it as the current situation. Right? On the current year, you can put it, okay, at this point, he's making $60 salary, 60,000 salary, and he's working, what was that? Simple solution requested annual increase to the song is working half-time, result salary annual instead of the current. Solution will be requesting. Okay. No, we don't have to do this. Consider option because delivered the also doesn't get salary increase 3 years. He worked with Dardosh. No, let me see what else here. I'm trying to get more information. Mazut helping the advertise here, like customer. When was that? I'm trying to find the time frame here, people. That's why I'm wondering what, so I can advise you how to deal with this. Now get the first current situation with the fixed salary. Then get the 3 pros and cons of mitigation. So now we have to calculate, before you do this, we have to calculate the scenario going forward. What is happening is irrelevant. First year, second year, and because this in his first year, he delivered, right? As things go busier, slightly increase hence he's projecting average. So this is our projection for the coming year. So everything here is just irrelevant at this point. Unless we change it. But he expects this one to be for the following 5 years. And since we're doing the 5 years projection, this is where we have to be, right? So have this as information, but don't use it. Have this as information, but don't use it. So I'm going to highlight this in different format, like a gray. So this is just historical information. That's not useful for us. This, the blue one, is the useful one. Okay? So once you get the blue one, what I want you to do is here. We're going to flip those one. I'm going to delete it from here, and I'm going to flip it right here. But before that, we're going to start with number 3, I believe. And then we go, 3, I believe. And then we're going to move to 4. That's not going to be like that. We have to change those numbers. So we have here number 2. That will be number 3 for us. And 4. So number 3 now is going to change. Calculate the option with part-time and delivery. You have the $30,000 coming as a salary, plus you have in the blue information for the part-time. Part-time in blue, part-time you have it in delivery, get the blue one. Okay, then calculate the same thing with part-time, delivery, and giving business to Samira. Make sense? And then go with the detailed pros and cons analysis. Why would be profitable and why would be not profitable for him to keep the part-time and the business, and the detail for 3 pros and cons and mitigation of the cons. What is going to happen if he doing the part-time business and Samira? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what else. He wants to see some trends, budget analysis of these numbers. He also interested in learning more about tax impact as KCP handled the sales numbers and expenses received to his accountant in April without knowing any details about how these tax calculations perform. We're not doing taxes here, so I don't think there will be anything here. Wondering if there's an element outside the taxes essential to running his unethical business, running unethical business. So what I want you to do here is number 7 will be see which one has the highest the highest income, and once you get the highest income, just say that will be that say that will give you the most taxes. That's all. On the taxes, that's all. Which one has the highest income, and that say that will have highest taxes. That's all on the taxes. Number 7 and the number 8 will be the ethical. How to run the ethical business. Right? So advise how to run an ethical business. Make sense?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Having experience in the software engineering, Masood is considering his own app growing his business. However, he recognizes that he will be eventually need help from someone more experienced with developing app, especially with bringing to bring this project to life. He expects his project will take 50 hours of his own time and $10,000 on pay. This project will take 50 hours of his own time and a 10,000 payment to a high-level app developer. Samira has offered to cover the payment and work along with the full weekends in exchange of 50% of the ownership of the business. Alternatively, can borrow the money at 6% per year from the bank. Masood estimated that the app would increase the delivery fee up to 5%, with daily volume getting 20% bump. Okay, he wants advice on this project. Is this worth to pursue, since he would likely have to quit his job once the app is up and running? So now what we have here, you have information here about the cost of the development, right? That's one thing that you have. The cost of how much he's going to spend. He's going to spend 50 hours of his own time and 10,000 payment high developer. Now you have two options. Option one, Samira offered to cover the payment. So Samira is going to pay the 10,000 and work 1 hour along with the full weekends to exchange a 50% of ownership of the business. So he doesn't have to spend the 50 hours. Alternatively, he can borrow the money, 10,000, he can borrow it with 6% from the bank. Now, what's the outcome? The outcome is, if he do this, he would increase the delivery fee and tips by 5%, and daily volume is going to get 20% increase. So the annual volume, the daily volume, that's going to affect the increase of the deliveries, right? So do you have enough numbers to make those calculations? I believe you do. So run the two calculations. So first calculation is, that will be number 9 here. Calculation of increased sales based on, I'm going to highlight this one in green. That will be the starting point, green. Increase sales per green part. And then incorporate in that calculation, Now, once you do that calculation, are you guys with me? I'm going over the time. I'm so sorry. I'm going over the time, so I'm trying to finish this as soon as possible. But there's not much left. We are pretty much close to the end. One more paragraph left. So the number 10. Once you do the calculation with the increased sales in the green part, then first incorporate the interest from the bank option. That will be, let's make it in blue here. And then make a separate calculation, which incorporate the Samira option. And that will be in, what color are we going to put it? Not red. in pink. Now, the cost, the 50% ownership of the business at this point is, we cannot say how much that will cost will be, right? But we can easily say that in that case, if he go with that direction, he doesn't have to pay the $10,000, and 50 hours, it doesn't have to be included, right? That's where I want you to go. Now, finally, let's see what's the finally. Finally, Mazout is thinking about purchasing a second automobile, electrical vehicle. If he used the car for delivering, the encourages Samira also to use it. Energy cost will be $1.50. There,
Kadamit lang yun. Ang ganda ng jacket mo. Ang ganda ng jacket mo.
okay. So finally, Mazout is thinking about purchasing second automobile, electrical vehicle, if he used the car for delivery and encourages Samira to also use it. Energy cost per hour will be $1.50. So you have the hours that he works, so you can see the saving. There will be also lease cost of $450 per month for 5 years. So that's why you need to make the projection for 5 years. And insurance cost of $120 per month. So you can calculate from $120 per month, you can move to the year. With the new car, Mazout would alter Samira compensation of the half of the delivery fee, and the entire tips she would earn. Mazout wants to advise on his plan as well as the details and accounting and tax treatment for the new car. So the tax treatment of the new car will be only on the depreciation, that's all. And how we're going to record the car. The car, that will be property, plant, and equipment. So that will give us number 12 here, which is the option with the new car. So you have to do the calculation. Then you have to do some analysis, option the new car analysis. And the last one will be accounting and tax treatment on the new car. So, and I believe we are done with this. Let's see what's the last paragraph. Is there anything left? Finally, that will be the end. Let me see if there's anything left on the case.
Yes, I think there is
One
information.
small paragraph, which I'm moving right now. Not this one. I believe we are, just a second, because I left you somewhere. Here. Can you guys see me? You can see my screen, right? Yes, you
Yes.
can. So the last thing left is this part. What we have to do, we have to advise on his career, but in the current 5 years outlook for the meal delivery business, produce business report, including the comprehensive analysis, recommendation, and any questions. So in any of those, so now let's add some stuff here, because there's no recommendation anywhere, right? So here, recommend the most profitable option. Again, I want to, that will be profitable. Double option, and again, our option, our recommendation is because that's how your answer should be. Make sense? recommended the most profitable option. C, the highest income, advise how to run the ethical business. Okay. That one, incorporate. So from those options, again, here we can add the recommendation. Recommendation, the most profitable option again, and our recommendation is this and this and this. So you have to recommend him on his career. That will be here with that thing. What he should do? Should I quit the job or keep the job? Or that's why I want you to calculate. The first option will be the $60,000 year after year, and then get the calculation. What if he run the business part-time, and what if he moves entirely to the business? Those will be the three scenarios. And then add the twist with Samira going in and Samira not going in. And that will be it. So you have again 16. So if we do at least, in this case, I need you to do at least 14 for the full marks. For full marks. And that's it. Make sense?
Yes,
Do-
Professor.
Do you guys understand what you have to do? Okay, sorry to keep you so long. Now for group 3, what I'm gonna do is, if any of group 3 want to stay, don't have anything to do, don't have lectures, you can stay. I'm gonna do the recording for the group 3 and gonna post it. So all
Excuse me, Professor.
yes.
About
Can you
group
upload
six.
this Word file